What just happened in New York has the entire WNBA on edge. In the blink of an eye, Breanna Stewart, the face of the Liberty and the heart of their championship hopes, limped off the court in silence. No collision, no warning, just a sudden stop that sent shockwaves through the arena and through the league. The Liberty, red hot and rolling with a 5-game win streak, were supposed to cruise through this weekend.
You know what I mean? Like, she sets the screen, she might get the help side defense to come in, and then there's going to be a spray on the backside. So just having that versatility makes things a lot harder.
But now, everything's changed. Stewart's injury didn't just pull her from the game, it pulled the oxygen out of New York's entire season. Fans are panicking, analysts are scrambling, and every title contender is watching this unfold with bated breath. So today, we're asking the question that's keeping Liberty fans up at night.
Breanna, in your opinion, what's the one thing keeping this team from playing a full 40 minutes at this point?
You're talking about us or LA?
You are, your team.
Well, I think it was not a really good start. And Sandy was really happy about the second half, but sometimes it's not enough.
Did one awkward step just destroy New York's title run? This is the full breakdown, and it starts right now. It was supposed to be another dominant weekend for the New York Liberty. Riding a 5-game win streak and sitting tied for the second-best record in the league, the team entered Saturday's matchup against the Los Angeles Sparks with momentum and confidence. But just minutes into the game, the Liberty's title hopes were jolted by a moment of eerie silence. Breanna Stewart, the 2-time MVP and emotional anchor of the team, signaled to the bench and limped off the court. The injury came without contact during a routine transition play, with 6:33 left in the first quarter. Coach Sandy Brondello immediately called timeout. Stewart exited the floor, having logged just 3 minutes, with a modest 3 points and a rebound to her name. The Liberty, who had started strong with a brief lead, began to unravel almost instantly. The Sparks went on a run and seized control, eventually holding a 13-point lead at halftime. Stewart's absence was not just visible on the stat sheet, it changed the energy of the team. This wasn't just any injury scare. Stewart had been New York's most reliable force, averaging 19 points and nearly 7 rebounds per game. She hadn't missed a single game this season, and despite a quiet night against Phoenix the day before, was still a pivotal playmaker and defensive anchor. Losing her, even for a few games, meant the Liberty would be without their best scorer, leader, and stabilizing presence. To make matters worse, the timing couldn't have been more brutal. The team had just welcomed back Jonquel Jones from an extended absence, but depth remained thin. Kennedy Burke exited the same game due to cramping, and Leonie Fibic played through a hand injury. Without Stewart, the Liberty were outscored in the paint and struggled to maintain composure down the stretch, ultimately losing on a buzzer beater. The injury itself, as anxious fans scoured social media and post-game interviews for updates, the initial uncertainty surrounding Breanna Stewart's injury loomed like a dark cloud over the Liberty's season. Stewart had left the game without returning, her exit abrupt and unexplained. Coach Sandy Brondello offered little after the final buzzer, saying only, "Hopefully she'll be okay." That hopeful vagueness did little to calm concerns in the short term. But within 24 hours, the storm began to lift. According to reporting from The Athletic, a league source confirmed that Stewart had avoided a significant injury. The relief among fans was palpable. There was no ACL tear, no Achilles rupture, nothing catastrophic that would derail her season or the Liberty's championship pursuit. And yet, while the worst-case scenario was dodged, the situation was still far from ideal. Her availability for the coming games remained in question. In a league as tightly packed and competitive as the WNBA, even a short absence from a star like Stewart can have serious ripple effects. The incident itself wasn't entirely without context. Stewart had mentioned fatigue just the night before, after a sluggish performance against Phoenix, where she managed only 6 points. "I just got to get my legs back underneath me," she admitted. "I don't know how I do that with a back-to-back tomorrow, but I'll figure it out." That quote now feels prophetic. The Liberty were playing their second game in as many nights, and it was only their second back-to-back of the season. Even elite athletes hit walls, and Stewart, who hasn't missed a game all year and is still managing the long-term effects of knee surgery from earlier in 2025, may be confronting her own limits. Her resilience isn't in question. Stewart's track record speaks for itself. But her role is irreplaceable. No one else on the Liberty commands the same gravity from opposing defenses, anchors the team's switching schemes, and balances the scoring load with such poise. Even if she returns quickly, it's clear that her health will need to be monitored closely as the Liberty prepare for the playoffs. Even with Breanna Stewart's injury classified as non-serious, the road ahead for the New York Liberty is anything but easy. The team is about to enter the most treacherous part of its schedule, a 4-game road trip that begins with the Dallas Wings and includes a high-stakes clash against the Minnesota Lynx, one of their 2023 finals rivals. The question now isn't just if Stewart returns soon, it's how prepared the rest of the roster is to carry the load in her absence or at reduced strength. The Liberty's roster, while star-studded on paper, is being tested in real time. Jonquel Jones just returned from a 12-game absence due to ankle issues. Kennedy Burke, a high-energy forward, often relied on for defensive intensity, was unavailable in the second half against the Sparks due to cramping. Even Leonie Fiebig, who gave them 31 hard-fought minutes, was playing through a hand injury suffered just the night before. The wear and tear is catching up, and now it's up to coach Sandy Brondello to make strategic adjustments with a rotation that suddenly looks a little fragile. One of the biggest challenges will be redistributing Stewart's versatile role. She isn't just a scorer. She initiates offense from the high post, switches on pick and rolls, erases drives with weak side blocks, and stretches the floor from deep. Players like Isabel Harrison and Stephanie Talbot may see increased minutes, but replicating Stewart's all-around impact is nearly impossible. This isn't just about filling a position, it's about replacing the system that runs through her. From a playoff seeding perspective, the Liberty can't afford to slip. Currently tied for second in the league at 17-7, they're in a tight race where every win matters. Falling into a lower seed could mean facing tougher opponents early or losing home court advantage. And in a league with razor-thin margins, that could be the difference between another finals run or an early exit.
星期嘟噜西式，既也难。
The next week may not define their season, but it will absolutely test their identity. If New York can weather this storm, if Sabrina Ionescu keeps scoring like she did against the Sparks, and the bench plays beyond expectations, they can emerge stronger. But if cracks deepen, even Stewart's healthy return might not be enough to realign their title hopes. So now the spotlight turns to the New York Liberty, a team with championship dreams suddenly staring down adversity. Breanna Stewart may have avoided the worst, but the road ahead is filled with questions. Can this roster rise to the moment? Will their depth deliver when it matters most? And how much does this one injury shift the balance of power in the WNBA? We'll be tracking every step of Stewart's recovery and every twist in the Liberty's journey. One thing's for sure, the next few games will tell us exactly what this team is made of. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Her Hoops for daily in-depth videos covering the biggest stories in women's basketball. Hit that bell icon so you never miss an update, because in the WNBA, every day writes a new headline. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.